Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
All right, let's get kicking. Let's get started. So we're gonna be beginning a new, we're doing a new topic today. Topic 3, right? So what does he say?
Hosting the Olympics.
Hosting. So have you ever had any dreams of playing sport at the Olympics?
No.
Maybe repping Korea, representing Korea to do anything at the Olympics? No such dreams?
I'm not good at sports.
My brother wants to be wanted.
Oh, wanted to.
Yeah, to be a soccer player who plays for Korea, and now he realized the truth, and he's.
What is the truth? How do you mean he realized the truth? It's
He thinks he's more good at studying than
Then playing soccer.
playing soccer.
Then he never had the passion to begin with. There's this young player. He's from Brazil. His name is Neymar. Neymar. He played for Barcelona a couple of years ago. Right now he plays for PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, a German club. So Neymar was 4 when he caught the passion for sports. And at the age of 4, his dad believed so much in him. So his dad said, okay, since you want to play soccer, let's quit going to school. You don't need to go to school to do anything. So his dad just sent him to football academy. And at the age of 10, he was already playing professional football. And at the age of, I think, 12 or 14, he joined the Olympic team to play for Brazil. And at the age of 16, Barcelona signed him. And they paid very huge amount of money in that year. Maybe 7 or 8 years ago, he was the highest paid signee in the whole world. And funny enough, his dad was so smart. So his dad said, okay, since I invested so much in my son, I'm gonna be his manager. So his father was his manager. So that simply means that all of the money paid came back to the family, except for tax. You see? So right now he played for Barcelona for a couple of years. He played alongside with Lionel Messi and so many other good players. Now he's playing at PSG. He's a very good player. So, repping or representing your country at the Olympics is just about passion and training. A lot of people, like even ballet. A lot of people do ballet. People do what are the badminton, weightlifting. Koreans have won weightlifting, right? Is it? Yeah, weightlift. What's her name? Meran.
Yes.
Jang Meran. Is it right? Jang Meran. Something like that. So that's it. So now let's take a look at today's topic is hosting the Olympics. Look at the flags on your screen or on your page. How many flags can you recognize? Count. Let me see how much knowledgeable you guys are with sports or countries. Sorry. flags can you recognize?
22.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
How many?
In here,
Yes.
22.
You know all of the flags?
I don't know. Just
One.
seeing.
Do you know the countries?
No, I don't know.
No, I mean you should know the countries. How many country flags?
7.
You know 7? How about you?
4 or 5.
Only 4?
Mm.
Okay. 9? Okay.
Or maybe more.
Okay.
No, it's.
Okay, 9. Cool. Let's write down the warm-up question real quick and let's share our thoughts based on that. Just give a quick response to those warm-ups so we don't waste a lot of time. You good? Okay, are we good? Yes, give us the response.
Number 1,
Mm-hmm.
many various flags. Number 2,
Mm-hmm.
I can recognize 7 flags. Number 3, Beijing, Seoul, Paris, London.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, they were created for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, many people can come to the nations that host the Olympics, so the nations can benefit from it. Number 3, it costs a lot of money, not only building a stadium but also maintaining it.
Good. Yes.
Me.
Yes.
Number 1, I can see many flags. Number 2, I can see 9 flags. And number 3, I can't remember the city's name, but I can remember the nation's name, so I can't answer about it. Number 1, it started to make bond in many policies. And Number two, they can get many tourists and promote their nation. Number three, cities can be dirty because of many tourists.
Number one, I can see a lot of flags. Two, I can recognize 4 or 5 flags. Number three, I remember Beijing, Pyeongchang, and London. One, I think it started to make friendly relationships between countries. Number two, they get to make other people to know about their nations. Three, they need to prepare for the Olympics.
Okay. Best responses. Okay. So I'm just gonna throw a few more lights on those, and then we'll move on. The first one, the middle flag there, the one that has like zeros, that's a sign of the Olympics. That's an Olympic flag, and that flag is surrounded by different nations' flag of the world. Okay, a lot of countries. I recognize the Olympic flag alongside, that's number two question, with the US, Canada, Jamaica, Japan, South Korea, Netherlands, Russia, New Zealand, Italy, and many more. How many cities can you name that hosted the Olympics? Give at least few that you can remember. In 2014, I think the Winter Olympics was hosted in Sochi in Russia. And in 2012, the Summer Olympics were hosted in London, England. In 2010, the Winter Olympics was hosted in Vancouver, Canada. And in 2008, the Summer Olympics was hosted in Beijing, China. And in 2006, Winter Olympics were hosted in Turin, Italy. And 2004, it was hosted in Greece or something like that. When was Pyeongchang?
2018?
18, yes, Pyeongchang was 2018. Then we were scared if North Korea was gonna do something, you know. Alright, so let's go to reading, okay? We take turns like we used to do. So maybe I'm gonna start this time. In 1988, Seoul hosted the Summer Olympics. We're going this way.
Olympic fever struck the Korean peninsulas once again when Pyeongchang won the bid to host the 2018 Winter Olympics.
This time, however, the benefits of hosting the Olympics are less clear for South Korea.
Does hosting the Olympics allow cities to showcase themselves to the international community, or does it simply waste time and money?
One advantage of hosting the Olympics is that it serves as a way for nations to show their economic strength to other nations.
This was definitely the case with the 1988 Seoul Olympics and the 2008 Olympics in Beijing.
Related to this is the fact that cities used to the Olympics to improve their
Infrastructure.
infrastructure.
To prepare for the 2012 Olympics, London spent nearly $25 million to make the London Underground more modern and safer.
Lastly, hosting the Olympics creates a feeling of goodwill among the citizens of a city.
Coming together and working toward a common goal such as hosting the Olympic Games unites the people of a city.
One survey found that 97% of Parisians and 87% of Londoners rated their cities to host the 2012 Olympics for this reason.
Hosting the Olympics also has notable drawbacks.
First, it is tremendously expensive.
Cities must build huge new stadiums and sports arenas for the games.
After hosting the 1976 Olympics, Montreal had a debt of over $1 billion and that took 3 decades to pay off.
Another disadvantage is that the bidding process is too long.
Pyeongchang made its first bid to to host the Winter Olympics in 1998.
It did not win until its third bid 13 years later.
While waiting for the results of the bid, cities have to resolve tax money and lands that may never be used for hosting the Olympics.
Even if a city wins the right to host the Olympics, the cities that host the Olympics are generally very large and need little development assistance anyway.
Okay, good. Regard. Ask me questions. Words that seems a bit difficult or not too clear.
Infrastructure.
All right. Yeah, the infrastructure simply means um, property, land, the construction of building or any related construction that will be beneficial to the masses. Okay, so road, building of road, construction of like stadium, you know, construction of water supply, light, everything that is constructed by the state that would serve all the masses is called infrastructure. Okay. Another word, bead. Good. It's a good one. I'm going to explain that in a very simple term so you can understand. Now here's what beading is. Okay. For every business or for every huge project, okay, that has potential people who can do it, the way to give it to the right person to do it is through bidding. Okay, I'm going to explain in a very simple terms. Like, for example, Chawan wants to build the biggest shopping mall in South Korea. And who are the potential construction companies? We have Hyundai Construction, we have maybe Samsung Construction, we have maybe LG Construction, we have maybe Pyongyang Construction, for example. So these four construction companies, they want Chawan to give them the contract to construct and build the big shopping mall, right? If if Chawan just gives it to Hyundai, Hyundai would other construction companies might feel very sad, all right? So they opens up bidding process. Bidding process is come, submit document, tell us what you can build, all right? The designs of what you can build, how much money is going to take to build it, and what time frame can you complete the building or the construction, all right? So all of these companies brings in, submits paper, like a document to show the amount, the time, the construction materials, and all of that, okay? Then Chawan government looks at all of it. Let's say, for example, so that process of submitting those documents is called bidding. They're bidding for the contract. They're bidding to get the project. All right. So at the end of the submission of all the documents and all of that, the Chawan government looks at the document and said, okay, Chawan government's budget to build the shopping mall is Omana, 50,000 won. Okay. Hyundai Construction submitted 59,000 won. Samsung Construction submitted 55,000 won. Pyongyang Construction submitted 49,500 won. And then another construction company, lower construction company, submitted 40,000 won. Another construction company submitted 39,000 won. Which one do you think Chawan would choose? 49.5. So in bidding process, the highest bidder doesn't get the contract. The lowest bidder doesn't get the contract. So they find like the medium bidder, okay? So that's what bidding is. So I just explained it in very simple terms. But in Korea, Koreans use a lot of the bidding process, even in schools. I had a chance to work at public school for maybe 5 years. here. And before, for the Pangao, like after school programs, before they get them into schools, they do bidding. In fact, not only the prize bidding, they also do presentation, all right, where they have to come in front of the principal and some teachers and some parents. They have to display, like their teaching methods, how they're going to teach and all of that. So that procedure is also bidding, okay? And then selling of properties, you want to sell, or you want to sell your phone, and then you post your phone on Instagram. Oh, I'm using Samsung, or I'm using, I just got iPhone 12 Pro Max, but I think this is not the kind of phone I want to use. I bought it for 1,800 US dollars. I want to sell it. Make me an offer. Bid for the phone. And then she comes into your post. I will pay $1,600. And she comes, I will pay $1,700. And she comes, I will pay $1,000. And Kelvin teacher comes, I will pay $700. So she decides who she's gonna sell the phone to, right? So that's also bidding. So anything that involves people trying to make an offer to get something is bidding. You get it? More questions?
Maybe no.
You good?
Yeah.
You sure? Well, let's go to the next page. Vocabulary. So in the vocabulary, we have 5 vocabulary words. We have showcase, we have infrastructure, we have goodwill, we have notable, we have reserve. Fixing the words in the right place. Alright, let's do it together. So the first one, I'll read out and then you make a response. To set aside for later use, what is it?
Reserve.
Reserve, right? To show something in an attraction or favorable way.
Showcase.
That's right. A kind, helpful, and friendly attitude.
Goodwill.
Goodwill. The basic equipment needed for a country to function properly.
Infrastructure.
Good. Unusual and worth noticing.
Notable.
Notable. Okay. For the comprehension, we're gonna do it together. What is true about the 1988 and 2008 Olympics Games?
The host nations use the Olympics to showcase their
Economic development, that's right. Why did people from Paris and London want their cities to host the Olympics game?
because hosting the Olympics unites citizens and creates feelings of goodwill.
Goodwill, right? You know, Paris, Paris is France, right? And London is in England. These two countries, over the decades, you guys, South Korea cries about South Korea cries about colonization from Japan. Paris and London, if you read about world history, they colonized the highest, they did the highest colony in the world. They were super brutal in colonizing people. But most countries, half of the whole countries, you know how big Africa is, half of the whole countries in Africa was colonized by UK. And then the remaining half of the countries were colonized by the French, by France. That's why in Africa, most African countries speak French. Some African countries speak English. Right? So they did a lot of horrible things to people. So all of these things they're trying to do is they just want to build goodwill. They want to build back relationship with people that they hurt in the past. It's just like, what was that? Was it World Cup? Korea, Japan. Right? It was World Cup. Korea, Japan 2010. Right? Is it 2010? That the World Cup was hosted in South Korea and Japan. So these are just like a means to bring two countries back together. Right? Yeah. Yeah, that was it. Korea, Japan 2010. Yes. They played World Cup. Part of the World Cup games was played in, maybe you guys don't know, you were much younger then. Part of the World Cup game was played in South Korea and some part of it was played in Japan. Alright? Japan, Korea 2010, I think so. Alright, so number 2, why did people from, oh, we did that. Number 3, in what year did Pyeongchang finally win the bid to host the Olympics, Winter Olympics? 2011, that's right. What cost or what problem is caused by long bidding process?
Money and land are set aside and never used.
Exactly. And then page 37 is going to be your homework. Okay? What's the time now? How many minutes left?
Maybe. Yes.
So a lot of minutes. Let's go to the next page.
What?
You want to do something else? Okay. So usually we stop here, right?
Right.
For the first lesson. Are you sure we're not doing 2 lessons today? Alright, so workbook page 14 and 15 would be your homework, and page 39 or 37, page 37, quick questions for debate. This page is your homework.
Yes.
Yeah, 2 pages. Okay, we're playing